Morning.
What in the fuck are we doing on a Wednesday morning?
Ripping apart some shitty ass pretentious top metal list for the
Very much
masses.
so. It is definitely that time to put it through the hot seat, as it was. Uh, we got a real interesting one for you this morning, Three Witches Land. Good morning. How the fuck
Yeah,
are
we
you?
do. Yeah,
Hopefully,
we
we're
got
all
the.
doing good out there. It's the middle of the week. Over
Yep.
the whoop.
Oh, yes.
And us two assholes here are going to get you through that morning commute or whatever the fuck you're doing. Get
You're
ready for
sitting at
some
home in
fucking
your
rap.
bunny slippers, drinking a cup of coffee. You're on your way to work. You're already at work. It don't matter. We'll get you through whatever.
Yes. And thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Before we get right into it, though, I'm going on a quick little ad here for one of our new sponsors. I feel like I never say it right.
Dezea's Creep Shop.
Yes, that. That damn commercial giving you the fucking creeps, even though I made it.
Always. Always. She is the queen of making evil things, horrific creations. They're all handmade. Check her out, Dezea's Creep Shop on Etsy.com.
Yes.
And especially just in time for the Yuletide season, uh, there's plenty of Krampusy good things in there. So if
Oh,
you're
yes.
looking to add to your collection this year, definitely get some of those. That t-shirt, no, actually, both those t-shirt designs are killer.
Yeah, they are.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So this morning we are doing the 20 greatest American metal bands ever, according to Louder Sound.
Yes, we do that because, as you know, most of these lists are put together by orangutans. Because for some reason, they just can't seem to get it right or distinguish what is metal and what isn't. Now,
Yep.
before we kick off the list here, thinking about the times, there were some magazines that I think are at fault for confusing people on what is metal and what is not.
That's fair. However, being a music type publication itself, you'd think that the source would be better.
Most definitely. I really blame Hit Parader magazine. I don't know if you're familiar with Hit
No, I'm
Parader.
not.
It was the premier metal magazine for like 20 years, all the way up till they kind of sort of just went online only. Actually, I think they actually disappeared for a while. But, it was the metal magazine to get when you were a kid. You could see like Ozzy, you could see Metallica, Megadeth, any of those guys, Slayer, all of them. But the problem is when something was getting super fucking popular, suddenly they started showing up on the front cover, i.e., Guns N' Roses. They were plastered all over that magazine, and it's a metal magazine, and everybody knew it. So naturally, people, I think, got a little confused back then. And you're absolutely right. I think the magazines are at fault because they should know better. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But this one kicks off a little bit kind of strong.
It does.
So
it does.
We start at number 20 with Disturbed.
I'm good with that.
Definitely. I still think that, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say whether or not they truly belong on a top 20.
Okay,
Of all
that's
time.
fair. Top 50, maybe 20.
Exactly what the fuck I was just thinking.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good point.
And it says it right there in the description. Mainstream radio. Every fucking radio station from here to the bowels of hell, or my lower intestine for that matter,
What's the difference?
was playing that damn Down with the Sickness song.
That is true.
You couldn't go anywhere and not hear it.
No, definitely.
You know, I almost think that they put the radio station DJs up like on a payoff or something to just I mean, they ran that son of a bitch 4 or 5 times in 1 hour. That's how bad it was. And they also did it to some of the other bands too, like Godsmack and you know, just some other ones out there that just
how many times did they freaking play Voodoo on the radio?
Oh my goodness. And that was a great fucking song, and it still is a great song.
For sure.
But you end up wanting to hate it after a while. It just is like, oh no, don't let me hear it again.
Pretty much, yeah.
So this is hilarious. It says in 2000, nu metal, which is one of my least favorite subgenres of metal, was reaching its peak, and clubs were full of Disturbed's big hits. See what I'm saying?
Right.
You couldn't go to a show without hearing Down with the Sickness before the actual live band comes out. It was loud, offensive, and very sweary. Bless you. I was thinking myself. They had a larger than life frontman who's actually a very short human being.
Yep. Which is rather amusing.
It's extremely. It didn't matter how tall of a heel that he had on his boots. The guy was short as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
But huge fucking voice.
Oh, for sure.
But behind his distinctive double chin piercings and a chest beating, I think they meant to say vibrato instead of saying bravado. My goodness. Was someone who could sing surprisingly well and brought his Jewish heritage to bear in their lyrics.
I've never noticed that
Not
part.
once. No, don't know why they would even say that. Don't know why. Nine. Yes. No. He's not singing songs about the dreidel. He's not.
Can you picture that, if you will?
Gosh.
That like dreidel, I made you out of clay song, Disturbed. That would be amusing.
I might actually buy the single.
Anyway.
Now, and naturally, their latest and greatest single that they've had for probably the last year or so was their cover of The Sound of Silence.
Oh,
decent, good, sure. Pretty good stuff.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I mean,
it
actually
came out 6 years ago, believe it or not.
Holy shit, was it 6 years?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I
don't
know. Damn.
Listen to this.
Time flies.
Their cover of that has 600 million views on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
I believe it.
Which is pretty interesting for the fact that they changed the song so drastically. And it definitely gave it a more of a darker feel.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Than I think Simon and Garfunkel originally intended during the hippie days.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, that was cool. Again, a song overplayed way too much.
Agreed.
But it was successful for them. So my hat's off to them. They made it to this list. That's cool.
Yes.
So I'll give it that.
All right. Moving on. One of my all-time personal favorites. Deserves to be significantly higher up on this list than fucking number 19.
I would have said top 3.
You saw it right there, the man himself, Peter Steele. Typo negative.
Absolutely should have been in the top 3 or even top 5. I'll take top 5 too.
Agreed. I could live with top 5.
It's like you never seen anything like them when they came out.
Agreed.
Peter Steele. You see him with an actual upright bass, just linked on a chain.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
who the
or
fuck is
what
that?
this?
Right?
Black Number One was their first video, and it just
exploded.
Gave everyone just an eerie feeling. They're like, oh, I want more.
I know. The only reason I'm a fan of the band is my parents saw the Beavis and Butthead skit where they watched Black Number One. I mean,
yes, I remember.
Their influence was huge if they were on, MTV cartoons and shit.
You definitely know you've kind of hit somewhat of a stellar spot if you ended up on Beavis and Butthead, because I mean that was just promotion you couldn't pay for. You know what
exactly.
I mean? So he's got the legit vampire teeth as he had them put in, and his just appearance, his voice.
Oh, that voice!
Nobody could, not even the people that sound similar to him today, still can't really hold a candle to his voice.
No, they can't.
He's one of those vocalists that we've talked about, where when you hear him, you know it's him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he was an excellent bass player.
It's not very often you see the bass player as the front man.
Yeah. The only other time I can really say that would be like Wasp or Slayer.
Right.
But him,
those are very different. He's much more melodic than either Wasp or Slayer ever was.
Exactly. He had just an unbelievable fucking voice. They call it his brooding baritone. Wait, where'd it go? Dang it. I just had it. There it goes. With his brooding baritone and demonic stage presence, the singer was 6'8" tall. He was almost 7 feet tall, this son of a bitch. And he was built like a fucking brick shithouse.
The sexiest brick shithouse you ever did see, but that's beside the point.
And apparently everybody else thought the same, because the motherfucker landed himself in Playgirl magazine.
Right?
My goodness. It was one of their top selling issues of all time.
That issue goes for like $500 these days.
Oh man, I wouldn't be surprised if it went up even over 1,000, especially if it was signed.
Oh, if it was signed, I bet that shit's worth a lot.
Oh my goodness, yes. But it did, and it made him, like they said, quite the sex icon.
Oh, for sure.
A goth metal band?
That's unheard of.
It is extremely unheard of. Marilyn Manson didn't even get that kind of appeal
right?
quite like he did.
No.
Especially for being out kind of at the same time.
Right.
So that's pretty amazing. They also ended up on Jerry Springer.
Yes, they did. I love that episode.
Oh my goodness. Peter's just like, why the fuck am I here?
Oh, I know.
My goodness. But I mean, he was a tortured artist.
Oh, for sure.
He really was. I mean, he did battle a lot of issues.
But in the end, his heart gave out.
Oh my goodness. Well, between steroids, I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Between steroids, and then you bring a little bit of the white snow into the mix. It's just the heart can only take so much.
That's very true.
And the metal world is still suffering without that band. Although A Pale Horse Named Death has ridden on and still doing very well. So at least we have.
That they have. And at least we have that, which has a couple former Typo members.
It does. And, it's just, there's no way they could have went on as Typo Negative without the Green Man.
No, it's not possible at all. Unfortunately.
So, I mean, and it's true. They can go from the ultimate doom, the term goth is just so wishy-washy. But just like that dark, ethereal kind of thing.
Right.
Thank you, Stephanie. We appreciate that. Good morning to you as well.
Come on, Steph.
So,
yeah,
they could switch it up And they actually referenced the Beatles here earlier, which I can kind of see why they said that, because they had some more like hooky type, faster stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they could do it all. It was just they weren't stuck in one box. It's like if they wanted to do a fast, more thrashy type song, they did it.
Oh yeah, they could reach into their carnivore roots and do it.
Oh my goodness, yes. And it all just kind of melded well together, and those songs have lived on.
Yes, they have.
Still to this day.
We could sit here and talk about Typo for an hour, but I guess we'll move on.
Indeed.
Move on to a less good thing to talk about. You can have it.
Yeah, I really don't want to.
I understand.
All right. So apparently, we have some fools that seem to think that Rage Against the Machine is fucking metal. It's not. It is hip hop infused with not even hardcore.
No, it's.
I would almost just say like a harder edged rock.
Yeah.
Probably say alternative.
Yeah.
Agreed. Because it was so different.
Yeah.
It wasn't heavy riff laden.
Nope.
They're just nothing bone crunching. Sure, did they have pits? Absolutely.
Sure.
But you didn't have to be a metal band to get a pit.
No, you didn't.
Very inventive, hard hitting, and of course, with the lead singer, definitely. See, they even say right here, a hard hitting alt rock sound that fused together components of hip hop and heavy metal. Well, I'm sorry to tell you. Guess what? Just because there are elements in there doesn't make you metal.
Exactly.
Just doesn't.
No.
But my hat's off to them for their career. It's been a good one.
Agreed.
And they're selling way overpriced tickets for their reunion shows. So if you want to lose your rent check or your fucking car payment, go see Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Must be hard up for cash.
And moving on to another one that I don't think necessarily belongs on here. Near and dear to my heart, Linkin Park.
I love Linkin Park. I have literally nothing against them.
No, me neither.
Whatsoever. Linkin Park is a fantastic group. But
I love what it says right here. Spawned from a time when spiky red hair, parachute jeans, and band hoodies and shouting at your parents were all the rage. Linkin Park became a household name.
Okay.
I mean, that's not necessarily wrong. And then they're like, was it metal? We couldn't put them on at Vakken, that's for sure. And it's like, no, you definitely sure as hell could not. What the hell are they doing on this list? And then they go on to say it's the closest to pop that metal had ever dared stray at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can call it metal. He screams occasionally, but it's not.
Just because you scream occasionally doesn't make you metal.
No, it doesn't.
There's bands like Seether and
it's like hard rock, pop with rap elements.
Yes.
Not metal.
That I will give it.
Yep. They're saying it's new metal, but kinda. Either way, new metal's not really metal. It's kind of its own thing.
Well, that was Limp Bizkit's fault.
Fucking Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, exactly. More like a biscuit out of my ass.
It's limp because it's so soggy.
Well, their big album was, Chocolate Starfish, so...
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
All right. Give me 1 second. Got to blow my nose.
In the meantime, I'm going to run another quick commercial here from our other sponsor over at Royal 10 Clothing.
definitely, if you like what you see, you like and share the love of horror that we at Three Witches Entertainment has, check out Royal 10.
Yes.
They got some of the best designs out there right now. They're a little bit of a smaller company, but 15 bucks. You put that up against horrormerch.com and some of those other ones, it's like way less expensive and
Better quality, probably
good
too.
quality. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I have quite a few myself, which we might have some news about that coming up in the coming weeks. Some
We
possible
just might.
new designs. So we'll see. All right. So let's get back to it. It's a very cold morning here in Plattsmouth. So
It's
yeah,
cool too.
just been sucking snot rockets left and right. So no good.
All right. Up next, we have Alice in Chains. I love Alice in Chains, but did they belong on here?
Near and dear to my heart, they have definitely got some very heavy elements at times.
They definitely do.
So, I mean, I'm not going to take that away from them.
No, and they definitely kind of pioneered their like sound style.
Yes,
but
still, it's was considered grunge.
Exactly, which isn't metal.
It just
isn't. Sorry, it's not.
And it even says right here, the harmonized vocals provided by Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley struck a chord with rock fans far and wide. It says it right there in the description. The word metal doesn't even come up in the description at all. Definitely not. Satan would basically take that, snort it, and shit it out. So guess what?
Exactly. And it says right here, along with Nirvana, Soundgarden, and Pearl Jam, they forged their way as one of grunge movement's big four. Grunge. You said it right there. It's grunge. Grunge is not
right there.
Metal.
How can they say that? I mean, there's somebody that should be on this list that I don't even know if they are, and would have definitely taken this spot. So I think they're just being a little bit too
all-encompassing.
It's what they like.
It is what they like, for sure.
Moving on.
Well, at least this one deserves to be here.
Abso-fucking-lutely. I love it. Like I always say, if any kind of a doom band makes it on, they should be there because it's such a beloved genre, and people can really just, it can be super intense, it can be super spacey, it can be, I don't know, fans far and wide can just really relate to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially of the occult and stuff like that. So Mastodon, for sure, when they came out with their debut Remission, have earned their reputation as one of metal's most cerebral, inventive, great word, and crushing bands. It's just like it says right fucking there. Hey, Steven, how you doing today?
Good morning.
Pure Sonic Outcast, Kingside represent.
And this is straddling the barbed wire boundary between blistering metal and densely technical prog.
Now, see, I disagree with that. I disagree with that a lot. They just try to lump them into as many different things as they try. It's just like, come on now. Blistering metal? That's more like, when I would say that, I would think of extreme metal stuff. Like Whitechapel. That's blistering metal. But nonetheless, whether they're in full beast mode, roaring about white whales off of 2004's Leviathan, and bellowing Kraken raising hell anthems like Blood Mountain,
or pickling our minds with batshit concepts about astral travel, like 2009's Crack the Sky. There's one thing I have to say about this list. Whoever wrote it is actually intelligent as far as how they describe things.
Seems like it.
Their
I will definitely give
categorization
it that
of
kind
what
of
bands
validity.
are is kind of caca, but
That's because I believe it's nighttime over there. So you'll have to have a few drinks for me. It's a bit early over here.
but no, they're actually writing like very long, descriptive, well written things about every band. I appreciate that.
So far, and it hasn't been, too far off the map, so to speak. Although I had a couple of discrepancies with some of the other
Yeah,
ones, but like I said, I think they were a little bit more partial to those bands, and that's why they stuck them on there.
exactly.
Oh, this is great. Issuing straight to the jugular gut punchers. Nonetheless, Mastodon is one of those bands that they give you so much honesty in what they do. They don't sugarcoat shit.
No, they don't.
Just riffalicious, even for fuzz metal lovers out there. I mean, they got it all. So if you haven't checked them out, god damn it, check
Go
them
do
out,
it. Do it.
please.
Do it.
It even said that stupid refreshed. God damn it, I hate it when it does that.
I know.
Hang on. I liked where it says, Metal Hammer crowned it in the Critics' Choice Album of the Year. There's a reason for that. They're fucking good.
Yes, they are.
They really are. So check them out.
Excuse me.
On to the next one. Avenged Sevenfold is one of those bands that started out one way and kind of ended up differently.
That's very true.
Which is fine because it didn't suck.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not like
thing.
a massive fan of this band, but they're not bad.
No, they're not bad at all.
I don't know if they're top 20, especially number 14.
Of all time? No. I would definitely say not.
No.
Of today? Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if we're like, they got to be a little more specific. How many years are we going back? And if we're saying all time, that means in metal history, period.
Yeah, exactly.
So why wouldn't Judas Priest be on this list? Or
I don't know if they are. They might be coming up. I don't know.
Well, I certainly hope so, because it just seems like just turd after turd.
All right, we have a question from a fan here. What's been your favorite album released this year?
That's tough. That's a tough one.
That's not super hard for me.
No?
No, Moonspell's new album came out back in February.
Moonspell.
Well, duh.
that should be a soundbite for you.
Oh, I can make that happen. No, everyone knows that's my top band. So
right now, Steve, I'm kind of like, it's a toss between A Pale Horse Named Death. Their new record is just amazing to me.
It is.
I play it often, and if you haven't, please check it out. It's really, really good. And then there's Mother Iron Horse's new album.
Yes, that one is also fantastic.
Oh my goodness. There's a reason that they're at the top of the Doom charts right now. And, that's probably one of Ripple's biggest, best bands, in my opinion, right now.
Definitely.
It's just, it gives you stoner rock. It gives you doom. You just, it's like a wonderful surprise. You just never know what you're going to get from track to track. And they all flow really well together. And that's what, to me, makes a real good album. How does it flow? Do all the tracks just, get better and better and better and better? Do they coincide? And this album definitely does. So also check out Mother Iron Horse, who I'll be interviewing next Saturday on 6 Feet Underground. Tune in. I swear I'll never get tired of that.
Same.
But at any rate, so yes, I do agree. Avenged Sevenfold is most definitely metal.
Yes.
So I'll give it that. Top 20?
Yep.
Nah.
No.
Sorry, can't do it.
This next one, though, it's iffy, but I think I'm okay with it. Number 13, we have Korn. Now, like we said, new metal is kind of its own thing, but they pioneered it. They essentially started that shit the way that they did it. There's so many copycat sounding bands.
Well, and they opened the floodgates, like I said, for all those
Exactly.
guitar players that now suddenly feel they have to have a 7-string guitar in order to make something even close to what they do.
Yeah.
They, by far, and unfortunately, they're also lumped into that new metal category.
Right.
So they are most definitely metal all the way.
Yes.
Is there elements of other things like maybe a little bit of hip hop and stuff like that? Sure.
Oh yeah, it says
But
right here, borrowing from Helmet's alt metal downtuned riffs, hip hop's looped syncopated grooves, and the gothic introspection and darkness of a band like The Cure.
Holy shit!
What
a plethora of stuff.
Say that 10 times fast.
Right. My goodness.
You're right, Steven. It was definitely a good year for releases.
Yeah, definitely. I've been trying to get into a lot of the more European bands, trying to keep up with what's been coming out. I would definitely say Monolord and Electric Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
You know
what? I have an idea,
of the
Reaper.
Swedish stuff.
I have an idea, Reaper. Let's do our next episode. Let's both come up with our top 10 releases for this year and talk about them.
Actually, I think that would be great.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Enough talking about this year. This year's music. We'll pick that up Friday.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I'll be as impartial as possible.
Yeah.
Black Tar Superstar. Yes. Not to mention, just a shout out there to Kingside Records, just a wealth of talented bands. Have had a bunch of releases come out this year also, not just us and Black Tar or Pure Sonic Outcast, but there's just so many. As a matter of fact, Drop Dead Dammit just dropped theirs. With Them All dropped theirs a week or two ago. It's the best in the underground today, in my opinion. So you got to get out there and check out all the Kingside Records bands.
Absolutely. But yeah, Korn. I don't know what else I can even say about it.
No, because I mean,
maybe I want to just talk about Korn. I don't even want to touch the next one.
It's kind of funny growing up and fucking Guns N' Roses came out. There's a reason that all of us metalheads called them nuns and posers.
Oh. Now that is funny.
Yes. It's like they just tried to put them up like they were the newest premier fucking, metal band, which is funny because they started out as a glam band.
Right.
There was a time when all their hair was teased up and Axl Rose was wearing makeup and all that other shit. It's like, I remember that Welcome to the Jungle video because his hair was completely teased out and it was crazy. Yeah. And I'm just like, this is just another fucking version of Poison, just with a little more attitude and a lot of fucking whiskey.
Pretty much.
That's all it was.
They're definitely not metal.
No.
They're rock.
Not metal. They do not belong on this list.
Absolutely not.
I mean, if you wanted to do a hard rock list, they would probably be somewhere at the top.
I'm fine with that, but they're not metal. Stop.
No,
just
not
stop.
belong.
Just
no.
stop.
Stop stepping on my dick. That's what I'm saying. Stop it.
Just all right. Let's move on and talk about someone who does not deserve number fucking 11. How about top 3, please?
Without a doubt.
Ronnie James Dio.
Legendary.
Legend.
Absolute legend, Ronnie James Dio. To come
Hang
from
on, here
two
it
amazing
says.
bands.
It
Oh,
says
go right
right
ahead.
here. It says right here, of all the legendary heavy metal singers, Ronnie James Dio was the greatest of them all. So why the fuck is his band number 11 on this list?
It's obvious that somebody is very, very partial.
Yep.
Just
You know
it's like,
what,
all right,
Reaper? I want to do it. Can I do it?
Let's do it.
Okay. I feel that much better.
I feel like we're doing Ronnie James Dio a serious disservice by putting him on as 11.
He didn't even make the top half of the list. Come on.
How though?
That's bullshit.
That's like having
bullshit.
A fucking list of 50, and at number 50 is let's say Iron Maiden.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about the best metal vocalists in all time, 70s all the way up to now. Because their careers, I mean, most of the bands that come out today could only hope to just push 20 years. We're talking about Dio, who has had a career that's spanned from the 70s, and those songs are still super relevant today.
Oh, yeah.
They're still spinning it. And then for him to go out on his own and become a much larger success.
Oh, yeah. Dude, 2007 just fucking sucked.
It just really did.
It did. I mean, we lost Peter and Ronnie James Dio. That's just not fair.
No, not at all.
No.
And there's a reason why, like I said, all these little flash in the pan metal bands that come out right now may last 5 years and you don't hear from them again.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree, Steve. Heaven and Hell was definitely a fantastic album,
for sure.
Especially for the newer incarnation of Black Sabbath at that time.
Absolutely.
You know, anyone to front a mega band like that was 10 years strong with the same singer, he fucking captivated the audiences, and there's a reason.
Yeah, definitely.
Ronnie James fucking Dio.
Exactly.
Man. What the fuck?
Kind of a short, ugly motherfucker, but holy crap, did he have a set of pipes?
And that's what made him so much larger than his small, frail skeleton of a body.
Oh, definitely.
Larger than life.
Literally.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, shit.
I almost kind of disagree with this next one. All time?
No. I'm
not taking a fucking thing away from Lamb of God. Everybody in the South, don't fucking start shitting on me, please.
Right.
But Lamb of God is a very amazing band, and they're one of those that's been around for about 20 years. Right. And it was about 10 years before they even got any stellar success. So,
the fact they stuck it out that long without getting super successful, kudos to them.
Yeah, absolutely. But, especially this day and age, it's hard to do that.
It is, but still not best of all time.
I wouldn't say best of all time.
No, me neither. Definitely not. Especially not above Dio. No.
Not at all.
Hell no.
If it wasn't for people like Dio and Peter Steele and a lot of these other just amazing frontmen and backup bands of all time, they paved the way.
Exactly.
Lamb of God wouldn't even exist if those bands didn't.
No, it wouldn't.
Next. Are we getting dumber? Oh my goodness. I'm about to stick an M80 up my ass right now. Let that sumbitch explode, because that is how I feel about fucking number 9 Dream Theater. Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm not taking anything away from their technical prowess. Obviously, Mark Portnoy, excellent, fantastic, phenomenal drummer, one of the best ever. He's sick. Mike Mangini, also super amazing drummer.
Agreed.
The guitar work, the keyboards, even all the way to the power metal vocals. They always want to say they're the kings of prog. No, they're not.
No.
They're fucking power metal.
Yeah.
They're right next to Dragon Force, which is another thing I don't seem to understand is how's come we don't talk about Dragon Force?
Seriously. They're more than just the Fire and the Flames people. Not that that's not an amazing song, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. I mean, I digress on this one. I'm taking a mulligan.
I got diarrhea.
That's how I feel when you have a list of top 20 American metal bands of all time, and you put Dream Theater on number 9.
Agreed. No.
Just, they didn't even have mainstream success.
No, they never really did they?
You could never turn on a radio station and hear any of their songs.
No.
Not a single one.
No.
So it's just like, here's 5-6 guys who went to the Berklee School of Music, which, don't get me wrong, they pump out some of the best musicians in the country.
Oh, for sure.
But come on, just not this list.
No.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh no! Every fucking list. I swear these guys are biased as fuck.
I swear System of a Down is paying people to put them on these lists.
They have to be. Or bribing them with huge garbage bags full of fucking dope.
System of a fucking Down again. Really?
There's that awful fucking set of words again. New metal.
Their eccentric mix of prog, thrash, hardcore, funk, rap, and Middle Eastern music.
They're only saying that because they're from Europe, somewhere in the Balkans, I believe. Armenian. They're all from Armenia. So
again, if they're all from a different country, does it really count as an American band, even if they live in America? I just can't even right now. Moving on.
I feel the same way, brother. I do.
Oh, you can have the
yes.
You can have it.
Oh, finally, something decent. Yes, Chuck Schuldiner and Death, the originators of death metal, the death metal sound, everything about it.
I'm good with that.
Definitely the world of that genre and metal in general. That whole band was very much high up of respect among all metal bands, whether you were extreme or weren't extreme. So Scream Bloody Gore, jeez Louise, what a fucking album.
Definitely.
And the metal world took a big hit when he left.
That is very true.
When he rode that fucking boat of fire across the river. It's just, I get chills every time I think about it.
Definitely.
But very glad to see them on here.
And I think I'm okay with them being number 7. I think that's a solid spot.
I will take that.
I'll take that, yeah.
That they were the best thing to ever come out of Florida.
Agreed.
Honestly, from that genre, that time, man, I just remember we would always trade like cassette tapes between friends, and I got one of those albums. I was just like, holy fuck. Because at the time everybody thought Metallica, Slayer, and Megadeth were like the top.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you fucking put that in your player, and next thing you know, something you've just never heard before, done that way and so well. So
agreed, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 6. Yeah.
Steve says, Death one of the finest. Symbolic is very underrated. I agree. Symbolic was a very underrated album because it was a little bit experimental.
Mm,
So yeah, definitely agree with that. Leprosy also killer fucking album. Definitely.
definitely.
Mhm.
All right, number 6, Megadeth.
You gotta give them kudos, man.
You got to.
They took thrash to another level while Metallica was riding high after they fired him
Right?
and didn't think that he was going to come back with a stellar fucking band. Holy shit.
I know, right?
Nobody else could have done it.
No,
You get
definitely
kicked out of a
not.
super group. You know, it's almost like the Ozzy Black Sabbath split. You get kicked out of a super group and
Hmm.
you go on and create something even better,
Exactly.
in my opinion.
No, for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
All right. Before we move on, I'm going to run one more commercial. If you like what you've been seeing here from us crazy motherfuckers who talk about shit way too early in the morning,
half the
support
time
us.
we're in limbo.
No, yeah. Support us. Check out our merch store. Here's a quick little commercial.
And not to mention, check out all of the programming that Three Witches has to offer.
Yes.
We are the premier occult online experience entertainment.
We have
It-
been a little bit spotty lately. We're sorry about that. But it's a fucking crazy time of the year.
It always is, and you know
And we'll always try to let you guys know when we're going to be doing a show.
exactly. Constantly go to Reaper's Underground, Three Witches
Mhm.
Entertainment. We constantly will advertise when shows are coming.
Yep.
So, but definitely, we already have a very good, group of loyal viewers, and we love you. We appreciate you.
We
Without
definitely
you, there
do.
would be no us.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we would just be two assholes talking about shit.
Exactly.
And welcome, Grace Terry.
All right. Number 5. Getting in the top 5 here, the nitty gritty. Tool.
I got to pass. I got to pass on that. And
I
there's a reason.
like them, but
Yes.
okay, go ahead, explain. Go ahead.
No, I mean they are a phenomenal band.
They are.
I will never take that away from them. They have songs. Could I say it would live on for 50 plus years? Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, it says right here, cult-like devotion surrounds this band. So,
Very
within
much.
people who are within this Tool cult, yes. But, outside of that, another 50 years or so, are people still really going to be listening to them that much?
I mean, their first record had some, I guess, what you would call your basic hits. The
Right.
songs were not 12 minutes long.
Right.
It didn't have 50 million different parts. So that first record, most definitely. Sober. Sober is probably the most recognizable song they ever put out.
That is definitely true.
Even if you're not a Tool fan, you knew that song. And it was good, really good. It had a great groove, great guitar crunch, and of course, Maynard James Keenan.
Yes.
Fantastic vocalist. Metal.
Yeah.
There's a reason that they headlined Lollapalooza constantly. They were in the alternative genre.
Yep.
They didn't quite fit the metal mold, and they didn't quite fit I guess you could say hard rock, or
Right.
or the prog thing. That fucking term just keeps getting thrown around like candy.
Yes, it
Fuck
does.
prog. That's why there's an O in there. Fuck it. It's just musicians that step out of their comfort zone and do something different. That is what prog is.
Yep.
So I digress. I think we can move on from that one. Quite honestly.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Number 4.
Yes.
Honestly, with how this list has been going, I'm shocked they're not the kind of people that just go fucking Slayer and put them at number 1. But thank
They're in
goodness
the
for
top
that.
5.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprisingly okay with.
I'm just not a big Slayer fan. I feel like they're extremely overrated.
To a certain degree, yes. I will definitely agree with that to a degree. They have some of the most classic thrash metal songs. There's no other thrash band that ever came out during the 80s
No,
that
there's
was
not.
as recognizable as Slayer. And they were one of those bands that started out like they had something, but they weren't polished. Because, I mean, even Camarea's vocals on some of those early albums were awful. They just were.
Yeah.
He's like just spitting shit at the mic and hoping that it sticks, kind of thing. You know what I mean? The best part of the band was the drummer, Dave Lombardo.
Agreed.
Who's gone on to play in so many different bands. And these songs will live on. Hell Awaits and Angel of Death, Rain and Blood. They got to a certain point in the 90s where they were almost starting to hit the mainstream with Seasons in the Abyss.
Yes.
And then they lost Dave for a while. Paul Bostoff came in, big shoes to fill, and they put out that piece of shit Diabolique music album. Yeah. It was not very good.
No.
So people thought Slayer was finished until they came out with God Hates Us All. They turned it around. Fresh new sound. Sounded like Kerry King finally took like years worth of guitar lessons. And actually put out a good fucking record.
Sounds like you've been constipated for the past 20 years and finally had a bowel movement.
Exactly. And he finally had some roughage. He ate some spinach. Top 5. Okay. Maybe. They're still missing one vital piece, in my opinion. King Diamond.
I know.
Why? Why is the fucking King not on there?
I don't know.
It kills me.
Agreed.
I think he showed up on one list, and it was the spooky list.
Yeah, you're right.
Just like, that's the only place you're going to put him?
I know.
You.
All right. Number 3, Pantera.
I agree with this wholeheartedly. Number 3, though. It's another one of those bands that had a loyal cult-like following.
That's very true.
They broke the mold of metal in the 90s when Cowboys from Hell came out and gave us something new and fresh, even though it had thrash elements and it had hardcore kind of packed up in there too. Yeah, I mean, you have to say it. Dimebag Darrell, greatest guitarist of the last 20 years.
Definitely one of the greatest, yeah.
One of the greatest.
Definitely.
So, on this list, yes.
Yes.
This high up?
No.
Don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. But I love them. I have mad love for them.
Oh, for sure.
So, the fact that they're on it, yes. I am happy with that.
Oh, number 2 is throwing me for a little bit of a loop here. We had 2 members, like the big 4, and then we have Slipknot.
Of all time, I cannot get down with that. I'm
Second
not.
best of all time, no. If they were down in like the teens or like
Yes.
maybe even number 20, I'd be okay with that. But number
Absolutely.
two, really?
Not number 2.
Absolutely not. You know what? Let's just swap places with Typo and Slipknot, then I'm okay.
Absolutely. And I hate the description. The description pisses me off to no end. It says that
Jesus.
if there was one band in the 21st century that could grab the baton from Black Sabbath, Black fucking Sabbath. Tell me, where in Slipknot do you hear a Tony Iommi riff?
No.
How could they possibly say that? They were extreme metal. Very extreme.
Yeah.
And very well done extreme metal.
Agreed. I mean,
Black
I've mad
Sabbath?
love for Slipknot,
no.
but way up here at number 2 among some of these giants, absolutely not.
There's so much missing from this list.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is
And I
bad.
accidentally saw what number 1 was.
And I'm not impressed.
I am thoroughly disgusted.
You know, top 5, sure. Number 1. Number 1, Metallica.
I feel like my heart just sunk into my asshole right this very moment.
I got diarrhea.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. Metallica.
I'm doing it again, brother. I got to. No. How the fuck is Metallica the greatest metal band of all time? I don't even know what to say.
I'm at a loss for words here.
Yeah.
Which
I can
we all know
about,
is not very easy to do for me.
Right?
Oh my god.
All right, so where the fuck is
somewhere Lucifer is just crying his fucking red bloody tears right now.
Or laughing at our reaction to shit.
Or that, yes.
I can't right now. I just fucking can't. Where the fuck is some of the other shit that should have been on there too? You know, I would have been perfectly happy if they put Manson or Zombie or like
Rob Zombie doesn't show up on any of these goddamn lists.
He doesn't. I feel like he totally pioneered groove metal.
Very much so.
And it's still some of the best groove metal. I'd much rather see that in here than all this new metal, prog metal bullshit.
You know, and the fact that Ozzy Osbourne was in fact the highest rated act in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened here in America. You know, this is an American list.
Right.
The Blizzard of Oz was created in America.
It was.
He should have been number 1.
I would have been okay with that too. I just
where's Glenn Danzig and Danzig?
Right? Loudersound.com, you have officially failed and been wolf talked 4 times? Was it 4?
Yes. By far one of the most ill-conceived lists I could ever imagine.
You know, from the beginning there, you know, 20, 19, 18, I was like, okay, if the band's this good or at the very bottom, where are we going from here? And we went to Shitsville.
In a fucking blink of an eye, it did.
It really did.
Straight out of the fucking sewer, covered in rats.
Yeah.
So folks out there in Three Witches Land Friday, we're gonna do top 10 releases.
Yep. We'll do my top 10 and his top 10. And
I bet you're gonna have a much better reaction to it.
Agreed.
It's gonna make sense.
I mean, I'm sure you love watching this asshole shred things apart and ripping these sites a new asshole, but you know, once in a while We did a mental health day and talk about some good stuff.
Bands that really fucking matter.
Exactly.
Damn. But thank you
Yep.
all for joining us this morning.
Yes.
Hopefully
We'll see
we
you
got
Friday.
Absolutely. Hopefully we got your motors running and probably bitching about the list for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Well,
So,
until Friday.
stay heavy.